Welcome back to the Kosi Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is your Mikel Arteta press conference reaction. We're going to be diving into the manager's remarks on Edu leaving Arsenal. We're going to be talking about Declan Rice and the injury. Mikel said that he isn't okay to play against Inter Milan, but we will assess him on Thursday to see if he will be available for the Chelsea game over the weekend. And that actually gives you a little bit of a worry if Odegaard is coming back. Of course, the manager has been talking about that as well. But if Odegaard is coming back and Rice is now getting injured, what is going on? What is going wrong with this team? Will that change our January transfer plans? Probably yes, probably no. Let's dive into Mikel Arteta's remarks on the Inter game as well. So hit the like button and let's dive into that right about now. First and foremost, Mikel was asked about his reaction to Edu leaving the club, and he said everything happened very quickly. Obviously, I loved working with him. I really enjoyed being alongside him on this incredible journey. From day one, we've been together. First of all, I'm very grateful personally for everything he's done for me and for the amazing work he's done for the football club. I think we've both had this special chemistry working together. We really both enjoyed our roles and working together. And he says, I'm very blessed. He's been part of my life in such a beautiful place that I am right now, managing this amazing club, and he's been a massive part of that. He's got an amazing opportunity now to do something else in a different role, and he believes it's the right professional move for him. We have to respect that, and from the bottom of our heart and my heart, everybody really feels that we want the best for him as he goes on to his next step in his endeavors. So Mikel Arteta there talking about Edu. Obviously, it's going to be a big loss to Mikel Arteta, and it's going to be a big loss to Arsenal too. I mean, yeah, despite the fact that people have been pointing out some of the shady transfers that have happened, but I tell you, there's no sporting director, there's no team that doesn't have bad transfers. If you look at City, Calvin Phillips, Matthias Nunes, the manager at times tries to play them, but you don't really think these were the quality, signings Manchester City would have wanted. And you look at Arsenal, yes, Fabio Vieira, Abosambile Konga, and Tavares, and a couple of them. But I don't think the work Edu has done will go unnoticed. Now, for Mikel Arteta, this is such a big blow because one, you're having a sporting director that believes in you, that believes you can do the job, and believes in your work. So that means that when he leaves, whoever comes in either has to have to display the same, belief in you, the same confidence in you, or otherwise you're going to be under more pressure. They're going to bring in a sporting director who wants to win right now, and if Arsenal can't win right now, looks like Mikel Arteta will be in big trouble. But Edu, as part of the Arsenal community, as part of the Kosi Arsenal, community, we also say we wish you the best in all your endeavors. Mikel Arteta on injuries and the team news, talking about Odegaard and Declan Rice's, availability. He says the positive news is great. It's great to have Martin back. He's trained with us for the first time. A full session today. He felt good. It's a bit earlier than we expected, but he wanted to be with the team. So we will decide tomorrow whether we use him or not. But it's at least a big step that he's traveled with us and is part of the team. Declan, unfortunately, has picked up an injury against Newcastle. He was able to finish the game, but he wasn't feeling good in the last few days. So we have to assess him on Thursday to understand whether he will be fit or not for the weekend. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop, does it? It really doesn't stop. I mean, you have this Odegaard injury. It gets out of the way. Then you have Saka. He gets out of the way. Now, it's Declan Rice. Our discipline is not good as well. When are we really going to play with a full squad? Actually, I was anticipating that at some point in this game, maybe 30 minutes in, maybe not 30 minutes in, but maybe 30 minutes to go or 20 minutes to go, we could see Arsenal put a full squad on the pitch, like Declan Rice, Partey, and Odegaard in midfield, and then Martinelli, Saka, and Kai Havertz up top, and then you have Timber, White, Saliba, and Gabriel at the back, and Raya. But it's not going to happen. Declan Rice is going to be assessed for the Chelsea game. Now, this is a big blow for us against Inter Milan, because that Inter Milan midfield, you need a powerhouse. You need a horse like Declan Rice. He works very, very hard as a player, and I think he's so technically able. He could deal with Barella, he would deal with Hakan Çalhanoğlu, he would deal with Henrik Mkhitaryan, he would deal with the likes of Arteta. His I think his quality would have been very, very much needed in this game. But of course, the big news around Arsenal is that Martin Odegaard come back. The manager says we'll see whether to use him or not in this game. But the big news and the great news is that he's traveled with the team, and that's going to give us real possibilities, and real energy. And I can't disagree. I think if you're Mikel Arteta, you're thinking about Odegaard and his comeback as your turning point in the season. It's been crooked. It's been a crooked season. And imagine, by the way, we have had a crooked season, riddled with injuries, but Thomas Partey is not injured yet. And I am using that word yet to show you that I know at any point in time, Partey will be missing. Like, there's no question about that. He's going to go missing at any point in time. So, Odegaard is back. Rice won't play against Inter Milan, but we hope he's okay, and we hope he can, be part of the team anytime soon. Mikel Arteta on whether there is pressure to win this season. He says my blood is pumping. This is the kind of game that we want to play. To come to Inter Milan, to Milan and play Inter. 2 years ago, they were in the final of the Champions League. They won the Scudetto last year. So to come here and show the team that we are right now, and the ambition that we have, these are the games we want to play. That is for sure. Well, he doesn't really answer the question, but I think there is massive pressure. There is enormous pressure on Arsenal, on the fan base. Like, I tell you, I think the Arsenal fans, have more pressure, bigger pressure than than the team. Of course, it's impossible that you cannot have more pressure than the team. But when you look at Man United, Manchester City, Liverpool fans all pointing their fingers to us, there's a lot of pressure to win. And I think I can see it with Mikel Arteta that the disappointment when the team doesn't win, it really gives him... it really puts him in a very, very difficult position. So there's a lot of pressure for us to win. It is our third season running as would-be title challengers. So if we don't win this season, or we don't win anything this season, then I don't think we have anyone to blame but ourselves. Mikel Arteta on the pre-match period of silence for Valencia. He says it's great UEFA doing that because we need a lot of support. We need noise around what happened because the situation has been extremely difficult. For a lot of families, a lot of people, especially these difficulties, are going to continue for months. So that support is going to have to be consistent. On Jakub Kivio's involvement and what he has to play to play more. He says, especially with all the qualities that he has, and when he puts them at the service of the team, that's it. When he has the opportunity to play those minutes and show that he's got the level that we think he can help, can help us to perform and win football matches, that is it. I think with Jakub Kivio, Arsenal just didn't want to let him go because, he had just arrived at the club, so you didn't have any pressure of letting him go. But it was between Kivio and Tomiyasu. And Tomiyasu, being injury-prone, I don't think Arsenal were going to let go of Kivio. But I think Kivio's future is not at Arsenal. I won't be surprised at any point in time, January or the summer, to see Jakub Kivio leaving Arsenal. I don't think his future is at Arsenal. I really, really don't think so. I don't think so. On whether this is a test for a test of character for the club, the period we're going through. Mikel says, with everything we've been through here in 4 or 5 years, what a great place we are in, because we've been with problems of all kinds. We have had an incredible moment, and we are blessed to be where we are. We are going to play this. We are going to play this competition. We are going to play 70 games. We are going to have injuries. We are going to have defeats like many other teams, and it shows where we are, and then how good we are, because we are going to react and be ourselves. And tomorrow, come here tomorrow we come to win again. Listen, when your team is going through, is this a blip? Would you say Arsenal are going through a blip right now? When you're going through a blip, it's a definite test of your character. I mean, you don't want to lose it all just because you've lost a few games. You don't want to lose it all, throw everything away because you lost one player or one player is injured. So it's a test of our character. Can we bounce back? I mean, if we win at the San Siro, it's a huge win. It's a huge win. It gives us that confidence to go into the Chelsea game. I tell you, AFTV is one of the most, I would say, positive Arsenal outlets out there. And I've seen their predictions for the Inter Milan game. There is only one AFTV presenter who has said that Arsenal will win, and that is James P. When you think about the rest, Lee Judges is highly optimistic. He has not given an Arsenal win. Robbie is highly optimistic. He has not given Arsenal a win. Turkish, of course, not highly optimistic, but he has given Inter a win. And that shows you that as a fan base, we love this club, but you can only be deluded for so long. So this is an ultimate test of our character. Can we bounce back? It's a big question. Mikel on Inter Milan and Simone Inzaghi's side, it says, I think they really have clear idea and identity, and that for me is the biggest strength of Inter, and that's full credit to the manager. He's had some very, very specific ideas, especially in ball possession, the way he moves the position of certain players to occupy different spaces, and that makes it tricky and very unpredictable. But to be fair, we face in the Premier League a lot of tactical issues that we have to resolve, and hopefully tomorrow we are going to do the same as well. On why he likes Saka as captain, like, I don't know, okay. Mikel says, especially the way people look at him, people admire him, people respect him, people want to be next to him. He's got that capacity to inject this positivity into the team and into people. A very particular way of smiling and transmitting his energy, and he's one of our leaders right now. He's come all the way from the academy. He's one of our biggest talents, biggest players, no question about that. He's got that status in the team right now. Well, I mean, I tell you, I think Mikel Arteta's model of leadership, especially on the pitch, is about charisma and chemistry. If you can transmit energy from your core to other players, I think that is what he prefers. He really doesn't prefer the kind of leadership that you have in a Patrick Vieira. I don't think that's what he wants. I think he wants a player who can lead by example. Just do it right. Just, impact the game, impact the atmosphere, impact the situation, and then other people are going to follow. So if you look at how Arsenal press with Martin Odegaard on the pitch, it's so different when a player like Mikel Merino is leading the press, or when a player like Raheem Sterling is leading the press. Odegaard's press just draws people in. It just makes sure that other players are actually following. I think Saka's got a bit of that. Now, for me, is he captain material? I mean, there's a lot of time for us to look at that. On his message to the supporters after Edu leaving and the defeat to Newcastle, he says, in moments when you have defeat or certain news that nobody expects, like we've always done, we stick together with positive energy and move forward. This is a part of football, and we have to be very strong, and that's what we've done. We've come a long way with that, so let us stick together. On being in Italy, he says it's certainly a privilege to be here, and I'm fully prepared for the game that we're going to have to play against the opposition we are going to be facing. I love the culture, I love the languages, the different ways to communicate with the world, especially with our players and the staff. And finally, on Declan Rice, he says it was a knock, so it's a problem with his foot. He wasn't comfortable with it, so at the moment, he is a no fit to play in this game. So I think the key highlight from his press conference is Declan Rice says it's a knock, a foot injury, and we expect him to be okay. Maybe not for the Inter game, maybe not for the Chelsea game, but we don't expect it to be a very big problem. I hope England don't use him too. If Arsenal spare him, can England spare him too? I wish they do. He also talks about, of course, Martin Odegaard coming back, Saka's captaincy, Edu leaving, and Inter Milan. I think Inter's going to be a big test for Mikel. It's going to be like a real big test for Mikel. If he can pass this, then I tell you, our season could turn around because we need a turning point. And November-December fixtures, there could be a real turning point. We could have a real turning point right there. See you very soon.